गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदा नंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहार जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव राधे जय राधा रासबिहारी राधा रासबिहारी राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय सुदर्शन जय गौरांगी बैंगलोरीश्वर गौरांगी जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो अनंत देव प्रहलाद नरसिंह जयो अनंत देव जयो निताय चैतन्य जयो निताय चैतन्य निताय चैतन्य जय निताय चैतन्य जय जय प्रभुपा जय जय प्रभुपा जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजाचार्य स्तोत्र शत His Divine Grace अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय ISKCON founder Acharya BBD founder Acharya savior of the whole universe Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजाचार्य स्तोत्र शत His Divine Grace श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय रामाचार्य श्री हरदास ठाकुर की जय जय श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ षट गोस्वामी प्रभुगण की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय जय श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय श्री क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा माय की जय जमुना माय की जय कावेरी माय की जय भक्ति देवी की जय तुलसी महारानी की जय समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories and glories and glories and glories to Shri Guru and God. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraje. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतं सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्गायतें क्रीं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदेवनाथारिणम् परमानंद माधवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सागर. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 8, and the text number that we're going to be reading today is 80. Let me share my screen with you. तस्मिन् अभिज्ञयाति विश्वाम् आत्मनो द्वारं निरुध्य सम् अन्ययं धिया लोकनिरुच्छवासा निपीडिता भृशं सलोकपला शरणं ययुर्हरिम् तस्मिन् अभिज्ञयन्ति विश्वम् आत्मनो द्वारं निरुध्य सम् अन्ययं धिया लोकानिरुच्छवासा निपीडितभृशं सलोकफल शरणं ययुर्हरिम् तस्मिन् अभिद्यन्ति विश्वम् आत्मनो द्वारं निरुध्य यस्सम् अन्ययं धिया लोकानिरुच्छवासा निपीडितं भृशं सलोकफलं शरणं ययुर्हरिम्. Word to word translation. Tasmin Dhruva Maharaj Abhidhyayati, when meditating with full concentration. Vishwa Atmanam, the total body of the universe. Dvaram, the holes. Nirudhya, closed. Asum, the life air. Anyaya, without being diverted. Dhiya, meditation. Loka, all the planets. Niruchavasa, having stopped breathing. Nipidita, thus being suffocated. Brisam, very soon. Salokafala, all the great demigods from different planets. Sharanam, shelter. Yayu, took. Harim, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. When Dhruva Maharaj, translation by Srila Prabhupada, when Dhruva Maharaj became practically one in heaviness with Lord Vishnu, the total consciousness due to his fully concentrating and his closing all the holes of his body, the total universal breathing became choked up, and all the great demigods in all planetary systems felt suffocated and thus took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. When hundreds of persons are sitting in an airplane, although they may remain individual units, they each share in the total force of the aeroplane, which runs at thousands of miles per hour. Similarly, when unit energy is identified with the service of the total energy, the unit energy becomes as powerful as the total energy. As explained in the previous verse, Dhruva Maharaj, because of his spiritual advancement, became almost the total heaviness, and thus he pressed down and closed the holes of his unit body to firmly concentrate his mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the units of the universe, namely all the living entities, including the demigods, felt the pressure of suffocation as if their breathing was being choked. Therefore, they all took shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead because they were perplexed as to what had happened. This example of Dhruv Maharaj closing the holes of personal body and thereby closing the breathing holes of the total universe clearly indicates that a devotee, by his personal devotional service, can influence all the people of the whole world to become devotees of the Lord. If there is only one pure devotee in Krishna consciousness, he can change the total consciousness of the world into Krishna consciousness. This is not very difficult to understand if we study the behavior of Dhruva Maharaj. Om Tat Tat. That ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to Canto 4 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter 8, text number 80. Om Tat Tat. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshururmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome to this morning session of Srimad Bhagavatam, a knowledge sharing session of ISKCON Sri Jagannath Mandir, and I thank the management, the temple management, to give me this opportunity to work around on the Srimad Bhagavatam and speak something on the subject today. I pray at the lotus feet of Guru and Gauranga so that I speak whatever is written in the Shastras. A beautiful conversation which is happening here, Dhruv Maharaj's story. Just to give you a little background, Dhruv Maharaj wanted to sit on the lap of his father, but his stepmother, Suruchi, did not want him to sit there, and he gets insulted by her. And she says that if you have to sit on the lap of your father, you have to be born out of my womb. Dhruv Maharaj feels humiliated, goes to his mother Suniti and cries bitterly there. After crying bitterly with his mother, mother tells him, yes, this is natural. This is ought to happen in the world. And you don't have to really feel about it. So he says, no, I want to get a bigger kingdom than my father. Who can offer me that kingdom? You tell me, and I will want to go to him and do whatever is required to get a bigger kingdom. Mother Suniti tells him that it is only Lord Narayana, Lord Vishnu who can give him such a big boon or such a big thing. So if he wants to do anything, he has to pray to the Lord. Dhruv Maharaj has a very connecting question saying, where do I get Lord Narayana? Where do I get Lord Vishnu? She says, you go to the forest and meditate. And if you go to the forest and meditate, he will be happy and he will grant this boon to you. Goes to the forest. On the way, he meets Narad Muni. Again, this is by the plan of the Lord that he gets to see Narad Muni, great devotee of the Lord. And he tries to dissuade him, saying that, no, you're still a very young boy. You can't go there. It is not good. The lion will eat you. What will you eat? How will you survive? Where will you get water to drink? Where will you get food to eat? You've been a Rajkumar. You've been in a luxury life, and, leaving all that and staying in the forest is not going to be possible. So at one point of time, Dhruv Maharaj tells him, yes, I agree with you that it's going to be difficult, but I'm determined to do it. Looking at his determination, Narad Muni accepts him as a disciple, blesses him, saying that, go, whatever you do will be successful, and allows him to go into the forest and start the meditation. In this particular shloka, is very clearly and very nicely mentioned about the meditation that Guru Maharaj has already started. And in this meditation, because he's completely, dedicated to it, he's determined, and we see that his body becomes practically in the same heaviness as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because of his fully concentrating and closing all his holes of his body, his holes of his body are completely closed. And the total breathing becomes choked up of the universe. And all the demigods get a little scared. Not a little scared, they get fully scared. And they take shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there are quite a few lessons in this small translation, purport, and this sloka which Srila Prabhupada is given here in Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's go one by one. So the first and foremost lesson is about bhakti. How can one take up to bhakti? So there are 4 points that I would like to make here, 4 Ds. Devotees can, make a note of it, or, remember on the back of your mind as to which are these 4 Ds. The 4 Ds that we really look at is, if we have to get devotion, which is the last D. First is, we should become a disciple. And we relate it completely to the story of Dhruva Maharaj here. He became the disciple of Narad Muni, qualified guru, and took instructions from him. And when he becomes a disciple, likewise, when we become a disciple, we should have discipline, which is very, very important. Getting up early in the morning, chanting our rounds, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, going to the temple regularly, attending programs, preaching, book distribution, festivals. So that's called discipline. One who's attending to his regular activities in a very normal fashion. It's not like once in a way you feel good, so you get up at 4:30 in the morning, chant your rounds. Sometimes you feel very lazy, so you get up at 8 o'clock. Your rounds go through the day and through the night. And sometimes you feel good to go to the temple, so you go and attend the temple, have nice prasad, and sometimes you don't feel good. So you say, no, I will stay at home. I wouldn't want to go to the temple. Maybe I'll attend the class online. All this happens. So once a person becomes a disciple, he needs to follow the discipline. Discipline is to get up in the morning, chant our rounds, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, offering the deities beautiful arati. If we are at home or if we are at the temple, attending the aratis. So these are very basic things. Yeah, when we become a disciple, discipline has to be there. And that's why a guru is taken, a bona fide spiritual master is taken, so that you can get in discipline. He will guide you as to what needs to be done, how it is to need to be done. And not necessarily that time everything is done directly by the guru. It can be done by his authorized disciples, his other devotees, senior god brothers of us, and they guide us in our spiritual life to become disciplined. The third one is determination. One should have determination, saying that, yes, if I've taken the vow, I will complete the vow without any break. And we take the vow of chanting 16 rounds, we take the vow of, following the 4 regulative principles. So one needs to be very, very determined in doing so. And once that determination comes to us, by default, bhakti, that is devotion, comes to us. And that's the success of a devotee. So it is very important for one to become a disciple of a bona fide spiritual master, follow the discipline, yes, with determination, and then devotion or bhakti will come to us. So here in the example of Dhruva Maharaj, this is very clearly understood. He becomes the disciple, or he takes a bona fide spiritual master, Narada Muni, as his guru. and then starts practicing Krishna consciousness as per the instructions of the Guru. Earlier, he didn't know anything. He was a small boy of 5 years. How will he know what is the process of bhakti? But here in this case, he follows the instructions of Narad Muni, becomes his disciple, and starts practicing the way that Narad Muni has actually guided him, told him what needs to be done. And this is done with a lot of discipline. So he's sitting at one place, not moving on a kusha grass, and just focusing his mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For a few days, he was eating very bare, roots and fruits, and then he stopped eating them very regularly. He would take it only at intervals. Yeah, then he extended that. He stopped that completely. He was completely on water. That's the discipline. Yeah. And after a few days, he decided saying that he will not even take water. So he stopped taking water also. He was only breathing air. That also, slowly over a period of time, intermittently, he would stop. And here, in this shloka, we say that due to his concentrating and his closing all of the holes of the body, his focus on focus and concentration on the holy name was so much that he had closed all the holes of his body. Yeah. And he was focusing only on one thing, which is Narayana, Lord Narayana. He wanted to get Lord Narayana. So there was no other focus. There's only one focus, which is there. So that's the determination. And when even Narad Muni asked him that you're a small boy, you'll be eaten by, you'll be bitten by snakes, you'll be eaten by lions, you will not get anything to eat. He says, no worries. You please guide me how it is to be done, and I will do it. So that's the determination that he had. And finally, as we see in the coming shlokas, we will see that he sees Lord. He hears, actually, initially he hears the Lord giving him instructions. And then finally, he sees Lord eye to eye. That's how it is to be really done. So 4 principles of bhakti, or 4 principles how one can achieve bhakti, is the first one is one should become a disciple. Second one is following the discipline. Third one is the determination that one has. And then devotion can come to him. Yes, initially that spark of devotion is very important. But then the final determination comes at the end of the complete session, or at the end of the complete practice that we show. So these are 4 principles that are very, very important for devotees as well, to become a disciple of a spiritual master, follow the instructions of a bona fide spiritual master, follow the discipline which has been ordained or which has been given by the Shastras or by the spiritual master, and have implicit faith in the words of the spiritual master. So discipline also means that one should have faith, implicit faith on the words of Guru and Shastras. And then have the determination saying that, no, this is the lifetime that I have to be here. I have to preach. I have to do so much of service in the temple or outside in the Namahatta, in the Bhakti centers, wherever. And that determination to chant his rounds and fulfill his basic requirements of Bhakti regularly. And finally, he achieves the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by serving the Vaishnavas, by serving Guru, by serving the Dham, by serving the deities, by serving the holy name, by preaching the orders of the spiritual master. So that's the complete journey of a spiritual disciple, a devotee, right? So the other things that we have to really look at is even the demigods. This is again in the shlokas that you see the last line of the translation. They took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So even the demigods have no other way to go. They have to come back to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is very, very important. And they take shelter of him. And while looking at the shloka, we can really say that yes, the demigods are responsible for certain departments. They're responsible for their own areas of work. But when it comes finally to the final order, then it is the Supreme Personality of Godhead which comes into it. Yeah. In the purport also, if we see, actually Prabhupada made it very simple by giving the example of an aeroplane. He says the unit energy becomes as powerful as the total energy. Yeah. And in this particular shloka, or in the particular, he says that the big demigods, yeah, all the units of the universe, which also includes the big demigods, felt pressure of suffocation as if their breathing was choked. And therefore, they all took shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead because they were perplexed as to what is to be done. So it is very important that whenever we are perplexed, we should take the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just surrender to Him, saying that, "Oh Lord, I surrender unto you. You guide me the way. I have nothing to, think about. My mind doesn't work." Yeah. Or go to a spiritual master or go to a very senior devotee and speak your heart when you get perplexed. Not every time that you will have your physical presence of the guru available here to answer your questions. He may be traveling, he may be at a different place of location. And in such case scenario, you can speak to the senior devotees, you can speak to the senior Vaishnavas in the parampara, and they will be able to guide us as to how we can really go ahead when we have a doubt in our mind or when we are perplexed as to what needs to be done. In the further in the purport, Sri Prabhupada talks about closing the holes of his personal body. Yeah. And Sri Prabhupada wants to make this point, saying that, by doing the holes, closing the breathing holes of the universe, just by his personal bodily features. So when he closed the personal bodily holes of his body, the whole universe also choked, or the whole universe was coming to an end. By his personal devotion service, we can influence all the others. He could influence the demigods, he could influence every living entity on earth and in the other parts of the universe by closing his breathing process, or just by closing his own personal body. So, a pure devotee of the Lord, he can change the total consciousness of the world in Krishna consciousness. That is given very simply by Dhruv Maharaj. And we can also see the example of Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas in the Guru Parampara. Just because of their own dedication, Srila Prabhupada's dedication, traveling to United States of America with just 40 rupees in his pocket and changing the whole world, and coming back to India after 13 years with 108 temples. So this is where, when there is determination, when you completely depend on the Lord, the whole world can become your order taker or the devotee of the Supreme Personality. Well, the intent of the devotees is not anything else. Their intent is only simply very clear, that they want to give the holy name of the Lord to the whole universe. Yeah. And only one pure devotee of Krishna consciousness, he can change the total consciousness of the world in Krishna consciousness. When we read or when we understand the behavior of Dhruv Maharaj, as we see further as we go on, you can see that, with that one small boy whose determination was so strong, you can change the whole universe. You can change the impression of the whole universe. So this is what we would really look at, doing. Shloka is very important, that we understand that it is possible for devotees to really change the world. Many times we say, "I'm a very small, insignificant soul." These are some superlatives that we use, think that, no, what can I do? But yes, you can make a difference. A 5-year-old boy can make a difference. A 70 plus years old of a old gentleman can make a difference. Srila Prabhupada, I mean to say, can make a difference to the whole world. Why not you and me? So, unless Sri Jayaptak Swami Guru Maharaj always mentions that chant, preach, and be happy. Because just by chanting, nobody will be, uh, happy. So you need to preach others. You need to get others into the movement so that they will also be happy. And by making somebody else happy, you will also be happy. So that's the sum and substance of the shloka today. I request devotees, if there are any questions, they can ask. And if there are no questions, then we will end the session by speaking a little bit on the book distribution marathon, which is going on, and close the class. So if there are any questions, devotees can ask questions, or if there are any corrections, please make the corrections, or if there are any comments, please go and make the comments. So if there are no questions, I'd like to speak a little bit on the ensuing book distribution marathon, which is currently going on across the world. It's called Sri Prabhupada Book Distribution Marathon. And as a temple, we have taken certain commitments of seeking blessings of their lordships and the acharyas in the parampara. When we say we have taken the blessings, whenever there is a book distributed, the devotee who distributes books gets a lot of blessings, from Srila Prabhupada, because this is very close to his heart. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada got these instructions from his spiritual master saying that whenever you have money, please publish books. Because these books are time bombs on the laps of Maya. You don't know which time it can explode. You don't know where it can explode. So, like in a war field, you don't know where the time bombs are lying, where the bombs are lying. And the moment you step onto the bomb, the moment you touch the bomb, or by the moment your body touches the bomb, it explodes. Yeah. So likewise, Srila Prabhupada also gave this Bhagavad Gita to us, and this Bhagavad Gita can actually explode within our house, within our hearts, within our families, and give bhakti to everybody. Yeah. Like a bomb, like a time bomb, when it explodes, it gives only blood out, because it tears the body into pieces and the blood is spread everywhere. Likewise, when Bhagavad Gita explodes, when the holy name of the Lord explodes, it gives out bhakti to everybody. It spreads the holy name of the Lord to everybody, and that's how the bhakti can spread. So it is very important, whatever small contribution you can make. You may not be a great book distributor, you may not be a great orator, but just take the book and show it to the person, saying that, would you like to take Bhagavad Gita? Would you like to take some small books? And make them feel. Maybe you can even read and show them some shlokas. You can read or you can give them to read certain paragraphs in the books that you're holding. Not necessarily that every book that is distributed is only Bhagavad Gita. It can be any other book also, because people have got this normal saying that, oh, I've got a Bhagavad Gita at home. I've got 2 copies. I've got 5 copies. Then ask them, do you have Bhagavad Gita as it is? And explain them the meaning of as it is. Because normal Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Gita as it is are not the same. What we are speaking, or what is written by Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita as it is what is spoken by Krishna 5,000 plus years. And that knowledge comes in parampara. Evam parampara praptam. It comes in the disciplic succession. And that disciplic succession is not broken anywhere. It is very important that the words of Krishna, which are spoken 5,000 plus years back, are the same words which are being continued, and that is what has been spoken by Krishna. So, very important that people should feel the book, they should read the book. Whenever you're going out for book distribution, doesn't matter, whatever is the challenge that you may have. Somebody will just say, no, I don't need a book. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Not everybody is inclined to take up the Krishna consciousness. There are crores of people in this world. There are only few devotees. So that's what it shows, that Krishna has to sit in the heart as Chaitya and guide them, saying that, hey, look, there's somebody who has come to give you a book. It's a nice book. Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna, whatever. You take it and make your life successful, make your life sublime. So that has to come from within, and Krishna will guide us in getting that from the within. So we have to just put in our endeavor. I remember this statement of His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj. He was here in Bangalore some time back. This was about 20 years back, 22 years back, soon after the Rath Yatra. And I was trying to do some seva to him. And it was somehow not happening because it was out of my control. So Maharaj just called me and he said, don't worry, Krishna sees your efforts. If you put efforts, he's sitting and watching there. So I'm saying to devotees also, you need not be a book distributor. You need not be a very book distributor. I'm sure we should only put efforts. That is more important, because Krishna is only looking at the efforts. He is looking at our bhavagrahi janardana. He sees how much of efforts we have put to do that for him, do that seva for him. Rest, he will take care. You don't have to worry about the results of how many books, how many Bhagavad Gitas, how many Krishna, how many Bhagavatam that you have distributed. Numbers is not the game. It is meeting people, ensuring that it reaches them, and we speak to them the right thing, what is written in that book, is very, very important. And that's why Srila Prabhupada wanted us to read all the books before we go out for book distribution. Yeah. So this is my submission to everybody, this auspicious month of book distribution marathon. We should go out and distribute as much as we can. You can even call up your friends and tell them that this is available. Can I send you some books? If they're not in a closer vicinity, reach out to them, send it to them by courier or send it by personal. There are many means of reaching the books now. There is absolutely no problem in a bigger city like Bangalore. And other cities also, you have courier services, you also have postal services, you can reach them out to them and distribute some books, which is very, very important for all of us to manage during the month of the book distribution. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. Appreciate your time that you've taken out, and I thank the management for giving me this opportunity to speak today on Srimad Bhagavatam and a little bit on the book distribution marathon. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Book distribution marathon ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. We will end the session here today.